Counter-terrorism police are now investigating a third suspected arson attack relating to the Prime Minister. The Times are reporting that not only are the two properties being investigated, but now a vehicle fire is being probed. We'll bring the latest as it happened. I'll just read that again. Counter-terrorism police are now investigating a third suspected arson attack relating to the Prime Minister. Two involve a property, as in a home, and one involves a vehicle. OK? A Metropolitan Police spokesperson said the investigation team are also considering two other incidents, a vehicle fire in NW5 on the 8th of May and a fire at the entrance of a property in N7 on the 11th of May. In case you don't already know, which I suspect you do, those are obviously postcodes. And they say they are also investigating whether they may be linked to the fire in NW5 on the 12th of May. At this early stage of the investigation, officers are working to establish the circumstances of all three fires and are keeping an open mind as to whether there is any connection. All are being treated as suspicious at this time. Inquiries remain ongoing. Well, as luck would have it, joining me now is the former Detective Chief Superintendent at the Metropolitan Police, Kevin Hurley. Kevin, not what we initially had you on to talk about, so we will move it on shortly, but thank you for being here. What would be going through your mind now, then? What will be going through the counter-terrorism police's mind or the police's mind? Three suspicious incidents involving arson and the Prime Minister's property. Go.
Well, from a personal point of view, it's outrage. We live in a democracy. There is no place for anyone attacking physically the property or families and so on of any elected member of our parliament. So that's my first point, regardless of what you think. And secondly, what counter-terrorist police will now be trying to do is really piece together the various investigations that have gone on, see if there is any kind of link. They'll be starting to look at perhaps mobile phone operations in the area and so on. But the bottom line on it is all of us should stand together, whether you vote Reform or you vote Socialist Workers' Party, and say, this is not what we do in Great Britain. We are already losing some of our principles in the way we live in this country. This is the thin end of the wedge and needs to be stopped immediately.
Just in terms of the practical operations that will be taking place at the moment, so you've got three separate incidents, two involving housing property, one involving a car. What kind of procedure will they be doing? They'll be scouring CCTV, won't they, at those exact times? They'll be looking to see if it's multiple people.
Yeah, I mean, Matt, all of that is absolutely correct. They'll be doing, as you're showing a video of, I don't know where this is, but an intensive crime scene investigation to look for whatever forensic evidence may be available. They'll be looking for CCTV in surrounding buildings, on buses that pass nearby. They may well be looking at mobile phone activity in those particular areas to see if any are being used more, are becoming more relevant, and they're appearing in all those areas. And of course, one tool that police have now got that they didn't have before is artificial intelligence to assist them with analysis. As I still work in this field in another country, advising on these issues, and artificial intelligence is now becoming increasingly valuable because it can do the work of a team of analysts within 10 seconds if you feed in the various bits and pieces of information. Of course, there's other technology that's starting to be used now, which is facial recognition, and more important, something that I know the Met are looking at, which is the use of super recognizers. These are people who've got an ability to look at even the side view of someone's face, and they'll link that to a picture they saw months ago.
Wow.
I hope they put a lot of assets onto this. I know they will, because we cannot have someone attacking the Prime Minister of our country.
What does this look like to you, though? Do you think this looks like some kind of someone with a personal grudge? Does it look like it could be some kind of terrorist thing? I mean, just with your kind of hat on, what do you think?
A nutter, maybe someone with a grudge, fixated person. There is a unit within the Met that deals with what they call fixated threats on the royal family or on politicians. I'm sure they are already active looking at who are particular threats there. Because, if this was a serious person, they'd have done a lot more than what's happened. But notwithstanding that, I make my original point, we are a democracy, and whether or not you like Keir Starmer or not, we cannot tolerate the Prime Minister of our country, who's actually appointed by the sovereign, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, there's a point that I will make. Sorry, Kevin, we're just because we're a bit pressed. I'm really sorry about this because we did get you on to talk about something else entirely, and we've been overtaken by events. So I thank you for being so malleable there for us. But we'll just make a point quickly, which is that if these are properties that are owned by the Prime Minister or things owned by the Prime Minister, I appreciate that at least one of those properties he's definitely renting out to other people. But if we cannot protect the property of the leader of our country, what hope do any of us have? Normal, ordinary people out walking the street, it sends a very bad signal there, I think. But Kevin, thank you. We're going to have to knock it on the head there, mate, but I've got a feeling you'll be a man in demand tomorrow as this story develops. So thank you very much.
You're welcome anytime.
Thank you, mate. All the best.
Using the internet without a VPN, a virtual private network, is a bit like taking to the road without car insurance. All it takes is one unlucky moment to cost you a lot of cash. This video's sponsor is Private Internet Access. They are the VPN to help keep you safe. Click the link in the description below to find out why over 30 million people have downloaded PIA to protect themselves online. A virtual private network is an app that hides your IP address and helps keep your data private. When you're browsing the internet at home, you give up a large amount of data to businesses, to shops, and indeed to social media giants too. Hackers have the ability to steal your personal data with ease, including sensitive information such as passwords, keystrokes, and even your personal photos. Private Internet Access helps protect your personal data by encrypting your internet connection to keep your data out of the hands of cyber criminals. And it's not just hackers either to be concerned about. Information can be censored too. When Canada passed their C18 bill, social media giants decided to ban news content on their platforms. But PIA can protect your ability to consume the news and content you love. Private Internet Access is available for Windows users, Mac OS, Android, Linux, iOS, and you can use one PIA subscription to protect an unlimited amount of devices. And we've got a huge GBNews discount for you too. Click the link in this video's description and you'll get a massive 83% off PIA. That's under £2 a month, the price of a coffee, and you'll get an extra 4 months completely free on top. Also, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee too. Visit piavpn.com/GBnews to start protecting yourself digitally today.
Reaction to what appears to be a coordinated arson attack on our Prime Minister's property.
Yeah, my first thought is how many properties he's actually got. My second thought is that terror cops would go and investigate because of who he is. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a terror attack. It could just be a very disgruntled person having a go. But nonetheless, it's quite scary. And I thought, I mean, I don't know that I could be wrong about this, but I thought his wife still lived in the family home a lot of the time because Downing Street doesn't like it, whatever, which would be terrifying if that was. But I don't know, you know. It's kind of what we hear. I don't know if that's the case or not. But if it was, if any of his family were in there, it would have been absolutely terrifying. But, you know, we don't want this. I think one of your previous people you had on, you know, said nutter. Who's done this? Well, it strikes me that that's exactly what this is, a nutter.
Chris, look, again, you know, we've been surrounded by the story for a bit, so forgive me if I'm not maybe sounding immediately as sensitive as people might think I should be. I'm going to knock it on a bit and say, I actually wonder if this could play quite well for the Prime Minister in the polls.
Well, look, I mean, you know, I don't think that's what the important thing here. I think when we look at those 50 Bulgarians that were in a Russian spying, you know, the Telegraph's making a link to that, you know, is it a coincidence that's happened at the same time? I think the other thing that they've had is talking about a DHL, you know, there was an explosion or something caught on fire in that was a Russian spying device. And then that's not just after Donald Tusk, I think yesterday, had said that the Warsaw shopping centre was linked to Russian...
so you've got a feeling I mean, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth. You've got a feeling that there's a chance it could be something like Russia?
Well, yeah, and they've also talked about, well, that's what they're saying in the Telegraph here, that the two could be linked, particularly with the Bulgarian spy network just getting locked down for 50 years as a bit of a response.
Oh, good stuff. Well, this is the benefit of you being able to sit and take a bit longer to actually read the story. I get the front pages handed to me. So, agents suspected of operating on behalf of Moscow have been involved in a number of arson attacks recently. It's interesting that the Telegraph have gone there straight away, I suppose. What do you make of this? What do you make?
Well, I mean, the first thing to say is that even the Prime Minister's fiercest opponents from anyone involved in politics would say keeping our Prime Minister, his family, his assets, his property safe should be of absolute primary importance for the United Kingdom. It's far too early to say what this relates to. It could be a disgruntled lone wolf actor. It could be state actors. I see that the Telegraph's gone there quite quickly. It's a bit of a leap. I don't think I would make that leap quite so fast. But it is absolutely right that this is.
They're also lobbing out. They're also floating the potential of pro-Palestine demonstrators. One group hung a banner outside one of the properties. This is not the same incident, of course. Said Starmer stop killing, surrounded by red handprints. Lady Starmer, who is of Jewish heritage, said that she felt a bit sick when she saw the demonstration. Then, I think it is possibly testament to how many people the Prime Minister has angered so far that we're seeing. It could be anyone. What I'm saying is it could be anyone. It could be Palestine, it could be the far right, it could be a lone nutter, it could be a pro-pension activist. I mean, we don't know, do we?
But it is the first time, isn't it, that I can remember that this has happened. I mean, I can't remember this happening to any other Prime Minister before.
What message does it send, though, Chris? Seriously, if we can't protect Prime Minister's properties, how safe are we supposed to feel on the streets?
I mean, look, at the end of the day, when we've got firebombs going to one of our Prime Minister's properties, I think we all should be concerned. I mean, the fact that there was 50 Bulgarian spies arrested, this should be concerned. And we have got wider geopolitics at play here. There are organised groups, of whether it's pro-Palestine or other reasons, doing these sort of things and causing trouble. But we've got to make sure that if, at the end of the day, we're looking at making sure people are safe, like Jake said.
Yeah, Jake, I do think, though, you see, there's again, a wider point here, which is that I think for a lot of people there's already no incentive to go into frontline politics at all.
Yeah.
The money, and again, I appreciate that for many people in the country, I'm not making light of what you pay, like 90 grand plus expenses. It's a lot of money. But for a lot of top talented people, you can go make half a bar in the city, you can do whatever else, right? And you, for that price, have total intrusion into your personal life, total intrusion into your past. Everything about you gets dug up. Nothing is off limits, pretty much, unless you happen to have an injunction out against it. Nothing is off limits. And then you can end up in the firing line as well with something like this. Is this a lesson for people to just not go into politics, Jay?
I don't know. There aren't many careers. So I was a Member of Parliament for 14 years, and in my time in Parliament, 2 of my colleagues were murdered. There aren't many careers where you can say out of the 650 people I work with, 2 of them have been murdered.
Yeah.
So politicians are at risk. There's been a significant investment by the Speaker of the House of Commons, Sir Lindsay Hoyle, actually, to ensure that MPs are kept safe. MPs are well paid. It's a great job. It's a huge privilege to serve your community. I just really hope that good, hard-working people aren't put off going into politics.
But Jake, there will be.
It's a brilliant job.
But they will be put off.
The minute you put off, you let people like this win. And that's a tragedy for Britain.
But they will be put off, and it's easy for you to say that. They will be put off because we know that MPs have resigned or left politics because of online threats, because of constant stream of online threats. So when you get something as tangible as this, where someone's firebombing your front door, it is going to put people off.
Well, let's wait and see what happens now. We've got all the detail we've got at the moment. I would hope, anyway, that the Metropolitan Police and Counter-Terrorism Police are going to move quite quickly with this. But again, I'll say if they can't do it for the Prime Minister, then what chance have we got? So we should know the truth at some point soon.